Hey there, this is the last screencast of curriculum development, TE600 Mod8. Hey, integrating Flipgrid and or screencasts into the classroom or curriculum. I've got a shot here of a book that I read when I was about 8 or 10 years old, and I thought I would include it here. The book itself was a children's book, and I grew up in Canada, and the interesting thing about this book was it was actually set in Pacific Grove, which is a city that my wife and I love going to, and lo and behold, I learned, 50 years later that it's actually set in a place that I love. But it captured my imagination as a young boy. Yeah, it was interesting because it was about space flight and other planets and that kind of stuff. And, this whole screencast Flipgrid technology thing got me thinking that, it's interesting and important that, there's the tools out there for both teachers and students to use and learn from. And they're great, but I think it's equally important for teachers to be able to instill that feeling of wonder and confidence in students, so that they do have that intrinsic motivation to learn more, and the confidence to go out and be everything that they want to be or do. And my point here is, what is technology without a desire to use it or learn about it? So the guiding questions for this module, or this Flipgrid, were why should teachers consider integrating Flipgrid and or screencasts into their classroom/curriculum? How can the tools be used in the classroom or curriculum for teacher use or for student use? So, when I first started looking at the tools, I wasn't really sold on them. But once I started reading the materials that were included in this module, I thought, oh wow, I hadn't thought about that, or oh, that's a really great way of using it, or really kind of interested me. From my own experience taking this class using Flipgrid, it's kind of a one-way sort of broadcast. Here's my opinion, here's what I think about stuff, but there wasn't really that two-way sort of engagement. I didn't really feel interested enough to go out and listen to everybody else's responses, so I was kind of cold on the idea. But once I did the readings, I really thought about, well, here is a way for students who are maybe not comfortable speaking out in class to be able to actually express themselves. And, it's a different way of learning as well for them. Some students don't do well in a classroom just listening to a teacher. Maybe they're more interested in going at their own speed and learning what they can. So the whole multimodality aspect of teaching I thought was really interesting and important. And we all express ourselves different ways, so, a shy student may not be willing to raise their hand or speak up in class, but given they're at home in front of their laptop, they're maybe much more comfortable speaking about what have you. And, the tools can also expand all these different interactions between both teacher-student, student-teacher, and amongst the students themselves, many different ways of communicating. Next. Oh, this is the next shot. Okay, there we go. What about for teacher use? I like the idea that the teacher can record their voice, and students can replay it as many times as they want, slow it down, especially for the second language acquisition learners. They may not pick up the nuances of somebody's voice pattern or accent or whatever, but if they didn't hear or understand the first time, they can go back and replay it and at their own speed. I don't think that the technologies are a replacement for face-to-face teaching either. I think that's important. Given my own experience on this online mat, it's fun and interesting, but like I said, the asynchronous nature of the online course, I didn't feel that I got as much interaction with other students or benefited from their perspectives as maybe if we were all in a classroom face-to-face together. yeah, of course it will not make a teacher more interesting. It takes more effort to be enthusiastic in front of a camera instead of just droning on in monotone. And the other aspect of this is, teachers are not constrained by time with the tools like they may be in a classroom. Like if you've got weekend time and you want to throw something into a screencast or Flipgrid, it seems like teachers as well as students can go at their own time, their own pace for how best they are able to do their job or communicate or what have you. For the students, like I mentioned before, it gives them different ways of expressing themselves that they might not normally have or might not be comfortable with. And, the shy or introverted students, it gives them a way of including their voice, maybe away from their peers. And it also gives students another way to be assessed. I know, speaking from experience, my brother does not do well on written tests, but he's very comfortable talking in front of other people. So I think this is a good vehicle for students to be able to demonstrate what they've learned and what they've known. Demonstrating their creativity as well. Another outlet to expand on stuff. Additional thoughts? Well, I harken back to, I think it was grade 7, back in 1997, Teacher brought in a Betamax from the school district and showed us how to record ourselves and made a little, not a movie, but anyways, it got me interested in technology and learning, much to the point where 40 years later I'm an IT professional, and that spark of interest was kindled when I was 12 years old back in elementary school. So I cannot emphasize the fact that technology is one thing and it's great, but it really takes dedicated, interested teachers to motivate students or spark that creativity or the interest in learning to really be beneficial. I think that that's the most important thing. So yeah, Flipgrid, screencast can be used in the classroom by both teachers and students, and yeah, they're great things and great tools, and there's many other great technologies out there, but it really comes down to the individual teacher and the motivation of the students to make a great partnership in learning. Thank you so much, Eric. I look forward to seeing you on May 15th. Hopefully you'll be showing up for the, whatever it is, pre-graduation get-together. So thanks again. I've really enjoyed the class. Bye for now.